live to do my dailies. Let's see if we can get this show on the road here. Yeah, we're live. All right. So let's get right into it. So what do we got for the dailies here today? Chapel and quarantine zone. Okay. Maybe I'll do the chapel first. Might not be able to, yeah. Okay.
Descendant, there are ancestor drones which give off inversion energy and a container with unidentified arcade stored in this location. The enemy aims to artificially combine different forces to cause an inversion overload explosion. They have also blocked off the entry path with the Order's malignant tumors. First, remove the tumor from the container to reveal the arcade stored inside. If I know the ancestors, they will have already identified the arcade's properties. Just before the explosion happens, find the drone which matches the arcade's properties and use it as cover. That drone seems to have similar technology to your inversion reinforcement device. If you have found the drone which has the correct arcade properties, I can adjust the output to cancel out the blast energy. Descendant, the commander of the Order of Truth has malignant tumors throughout their body. We need the inversion simulator installed on the ancestor drone.
So we got square, X, circle, triangle. Alright, on to the next one. Just want to say something. Okay.
Descendant, there are ancestor drones which give off inversion energy and a container with unidentified archive stored in this location. The enemy aims to artificially combine these two forces to cause an inversion overload explosion. They have also blocked off the entry path with the Order's malignant tumors.
I'm gonna leave the next ones up to them because I've been doing it the full time. I want to see if they know how to read. And if they don't, I back out and I do it solo. I like people that take initiative. Not to be bitchy, but I don't want to be the only one doing the heavy lifting. Alright. Let's see if they know how to read. Nice.
Descendant, the commander of the Order of Truth has malignant tumors throughout their body. We need the inversion energy emitter installed on the ancestor drone.
Cool. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. I like when there's a fair balance, you know, that people take turns or whatever doing stuff. It's not left up to just one person. That's when it feels like a team, you know? So, GG's to them. I appreciate it. Okay, so for the next one, it is Quarantine Zone. I might try soloing this one, actually. Or do one solo, one team. I just want to see what I'm capable of doing on my own. I think I can do it. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can.
Descendant, the enemy has modified the ancestor's weapon with Vulgus
Okay, so we got white, so the white is the odd one out.
The weapon contains ancient arcane. The structure on the ground draws and releases this. Descendant, I will show you the properties of the arcane stored within the weapon. You can disconnect the energy link using your own arcane.
Shall we race?
Was there, nope, there was nothing there. Okay, so we got white, orange, and pink. Pink is the odd one out. Alright, let's see what plate I have to stand on.
Descendant.
Pink.
The enemy commander
Here.
is using the inversion energy as a personal barrier. We must find a device with the same arcade properties. You need to attack that device from above to penetrate the inversion energy.
Easy peasy. Let's go solo again. I don't know why I keep coughing lately. I know I don't have COVID or anything, but it reminds me of like the cough I had that lingered after COVID. When I had it before. It was awful.
Descendant. The enemy
All you have
has
to do is
modified
ask
the
my buddy
ancestor
Paul and
weapon
he'll
with
tell you
advanced
how
technology
sick
and
I
are
was.
using it to emit inversion energy. It appears they are defending the gate with it. The weapon contains infinite arcane. The structure on the ground draws and releases this. Descendant. I will show you the properties of the energy stored within the weapon. You can disconnect the energy link using your own arcane.
Stop right there.
How much it would cost for an ambulance back then. She's like, you're not paying $400 for an ambulance. I'm like, if they find it is like, you know, a legit reason for you going to an emergency room, it's only like 40 bucks. 40 something dollars, anyways. Which, I mean, at the end of the day, that's your life, you know? She means well, but even for her, I had to, like, say, I'll pay for that fucking ambulance. You get in that ambulance and go for her heart problem. She didn't know she had one. And I knew. She was showing signs of it. And I knew exactly what the heart problem was, too, and I'm not a doctor. Just thanks to Google and looking up the symptoms, I'm like, you have congestive heart failure, Mom. And she's like, don't fucking tell me I had a heart attack. Seriously, she was mad thinking I was saying she had a heart attack. I'm like, no, but even if you did, you know, if your loved one's saying they're seeing signs of it, you shouldn't get upset. Because that could be a legit thing. Like, you know, she thought I had a heart attack and she told me, I'd be like, okay, let's go get it checked out. Let's rule it out.
Descendant. The enemy commander
But
is
yeah,
using
she got
the
really
inversion energy
offended
as
or
a
mad.
personal barrier. We must find a device with the same arcane properties. You need to attack that device from above to penetrate the inversion energy.
It's hard being a Virgo in the sense, like, we're honest individuals. We'll tell you how we see it, and it can come off as offensive to people, like, you know, certain things. But we mean it at times in a very loving way, like, we want to help you or protect you, or if we're correcting you, we want you to live a better life, or, you know, and a lot of people don't want to hear that, you know, family included. If you're seeing signs of, like, you know, something that might be wrong. Like my mom, she has Parkinson's, right? And I saw it in my mom, and I see it in some of other family members, I'll put it that way. Like, I see little signs of it, like, you know, mild tremors and stuff. But they probably don't want to hear it. Like, I'm pretty sure they don't anyways. But, you know, like, you want to be loving and say, hey, you know, go to the doctor and have that looked at. Have them send you to a neurologist and have that tested out, you know, but they don't want to do that, you know. And the thing is, for my family, there is a history of Parkinson's disease on my mom's mom, my grandmother, on my mom's side. Her father, so that would be my great grandfather, he had Parkinson's, right? So there's a family trait of it, and it can be passed down through families, right? So I told Mom to go get tested for that. She did, and I'm proud of her for it. She went to a neurologist and a couple neurologists, I guess. One neurologist, and I don't know what the other one was considered, but definitely one neurologist and another doctor confirmed that she does have it, but in its earliest stage. I think that she said stage 1, which is good, but I mean, it progresses, right? So, yeah. My mom's had a huge cross to bear as far as her health. You know, to now a heart problem, which could be caused by cancer treatment, apparently. Radiation.
Humanity is very
That's where they're leaning.
That's why humans need us so desperately.
But then there's also the debate about the doctors won't say this, but there's also the debate about the COVID shot she got, or even the COVID itself. We don't know enough about COVID, you know? It's so new. That could be even a possibility, you know?
Modules will make you stronger.
But like when I bring it up to the doctors, they're kind of like, oh, no, it's not COVID, you know? It's not caused by COVID. And I'm like, how can you be so sure? You guys don't know enough about it yet. And then you look online and you search congestive heart failure, COVID, and you'll see some links, but the doctors won't say it, you know? Because they want people to keep, you know, getting the needle and that. And I wasn't against the needle. You know, it's kind of, I'm on the fence about it, because, like, COVID is so bad, and living through it, I never want to get it again. Because, like, I thought I'd be, like, a tough cookie. I get through most stuff, like, you know, I'm relatively healthy. But no, COVID really had it in for me. It was almost like it was created and targeted specifically to my code. I'm sure other DNA code, I'm sure other people think the same thing. But yeah, this thing, I've had colds, I have had flus, and none of them have given me a fever of 104. You know, maybe 101 max or whatever. Never 104. I was on the brink of, like, I guess, organ shutdown. Because once your temperature goes so high, apparently your organs get fried, you know? So I think 105 you can die. I was one away from death. And when my uncle got it, he said he felt like he had 1 foot in the grave. He got it way before we did. And so, yeah, it's not a good thing to have. So it's like, you know, part of you is like, yeah, get the shot, like, you know, you don't want to get that, but then, like, when you find out there might be ties to having future heart problems, you're like, oh, like, especially when your loved one did. You know, the one shot and I mean, if you guys don't like debating this stuff, you're welcome to leave. I completely understand. But the one shot I question, like, both my mom and I had Pfizer. I don't know about that, but the one shot I questioned that she got was the AstraZeneca. And they were really pushing it on the seniors. Like, when it first came out, it wasn't like they would give Pfizer way back then. It's like the very first one, they're like, you must take AstraZeneca. And so, like, everybody had that fear of the COVID, right? And of dying. So, you know, they would take it, like, you know. Because my mom was a senior, so she was one of the first people, like, to be approved to get that, you know. But then after I said to Mom, like, don't take the AstraZeneca a second time, I says, take the Pfizer. But now, I'm questioning, like, heart problems as well with myself. So if we both end up with heart issues, because I've got, like, swelling in my legs, and that's, like, ever since the COVID shot, I'm pretty sure. It's always in my left leg, which left side is connected to the heart. I don't know. Like, I'm not conspiracy theorist, really, or anything like that, which I'm sure maybe some stuff like that does exist, but I wonder what the long-term effects really are. But then also my mom, for her neck, like, she has a neck problem, and the neurologist suggests that she gets Botox shots once in a while in her neck. And so she was doing that, but then I was reading about Botox and its effect on the heart. So I don't know. It's a huge clusterfuck. You just don't know what caused it, but it's definitely freaky. But I even feel like I should go for some heart tests here myself. But I don't know if my doctor would approve it. I don't want to do the stress test. My mom said that's like hell on earth, but if there's another way they can check the heart. Interesting. Normally he spawns in a different area, usually up around here. Okay, Doggo got all that stuff. Nice. Good doggy. I have to run over that specific spot. So I crack Crossroads and then I just go around to my little vehicle. Makes it easier. Sort of like similar to people that use Bunny and the electrical energy and then just hop on the vehicle and go around. I kind of got that same idea. I'm like, why don't we try that with Viessa? And sure enough, it works. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alright. Let's delete all this shit. I want to get this done so I can go on COD a little bit early. Because like it seems like whenever I go on from like 9 p.m. my time onwards, like that's like when I get all these like names, like, and I hate bringing it up, but like twice now I had the name Rage come after me. And you know, Rage was that friend I had a falling out with, and I just thought it was so fucking weird and that. So I was talking it over with some people, and they highly recommend that I send clips of what happened in and jot down the account with the number, or the accounts with the numbers, you know, like the hashtag and then the number after, and report them. But send the video evidence in as well through a contact I have, and they'll take action against those accounts. And if they find any other accounts linked, I guess, through the IP address, they have ways of doing stuff that they'll permanently ban any accounts that these users have. I was like, wow, like when I found that out. They take the shit serious, like harassment. And like I showed you guys on here before, I should have kept it, but you could probably go back in my streams. I had reported somebody on here as well, for some malicious shit. And yeah, it's kind of funny. People don't know. Like, I keep some of this private because I only pull this card out when I suffer harassment. But people don't know the people you know that actually know people who work on this game and also on COD. And so, yeah. So I only pull that card out when I really have to use it. I try, you know, I want to be nice to people, but if they're gonna cross boundaries and do weird stuff
Reporting extreme
like that,
concentrations of void energy within the operation
like
zone.
using
All units, please proceed at your own discretion.
my friend's name,
Do not
my
exceed your
ex-friend's name, out of, I don't know, maybe it's jealousy. Like I was joking around saying maybe they're jealous that I was making him meatloaf and they weren't getting any meatloaf or anything else, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's so weird. People are strange. Jealousy is a funny creature, isn't it? It's like, you know, even as soon as I posted that Rage and I were gonna be hanging out on my Facebook, this other dude started losing his fucking mind and has been like literally raging himself ever since then.
Arcane life signs detected
But
inside
me
of
hanging
all
out with him, I'm just like, dude, like, it's just, at the time too, it was just a friend, nothing more, and we're not married, like, I don't owe you fucking shit. You know, like, some people are so fucking controlling that they're suffocating, you know? And I'm like, dude, I can't be with anybody that's suffocating. I want to be free. You know, like how men are bachelors? I'm gonna be a bachelorette, I guess. And be cool with that, because then I have my freedom to do what the fuck I want. I can tell you, I do not want to be in any fucking relationship where I can't be myself or just have freedom to even have friends and stuff. Like, if a dude's that fucking high-strung and can't relax, like, and be confident, then I don't know what to tell you.
Transfer to transport position. Well done, descendant.
I think it's best that I just don't get involved with such individuals. Like, I need to have, yeah, whoever I end up with eventually has to be confident enough to trust me, you know, and if they can't, then, yeah, it's just best leave it at that, you know what I mean? Because it's such a fucking turn-off when, like, somebody's literally trying to put a fucking rope around your neck and walk you like a dog, like, you must do this, you must do that, you must be this, you must be... I can't do that. You know? But anyway. And especially when it's just somebody else that's like, okay, so like Rage at the time is my friend, right? And this other person, you know, was a friend too. And I'm just like, you're acting like I'm married to you. Like, how dare you hang out with that guy? That guy's not your friend. Why are you hanging out with that guy? You're gonna do this in front of me? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, somebody like that, when you're just like friends, like imagine. I mean, even males. Imagine you had a female friend, right? And you've stated the boundaries like, hey, you're just friends, right? And then she starts going all crazy on you and saying, hey, why are you hanging out with that chick? You're cheating on me. why are you doing this in front of me? You know what I mean? Like acting like that. Like, and you're just like, wait, what? Like, I'm just hanging out with a friend, first of all. Second of all, I'm not married to you. I'm not in a relationship with you. Like, get the fuck off my ass. Some people are weird like that, just so fucking possessive, and it's terrifying. I can't deal with that. Okay. But yeah, I've dealt with a lot of weird dudes in my lifetime. And not even relationship level, but like possessive, controlling, domineering, just because I'm nice. And then I just go, I'm nice, but I've got boundaries, bitch. Like, you know, and I crack the whip, and they don't like it. But too bad. If I'm not married to you, I don't owe you shit. Alright, so infiltration operation ×2. What do we got today again? Oh yeah, quarantine zone. And the chapel. Quarantine zone. Normally I would do a Freyna, but I'll just throw in a bunny. But yeah, like believe me, if I was in a relationship, I'd be completely loyal, but I would have to be able to have my friends, like, and not have the guy I was with or whatever be like so like have a freak out, you know? If I video game with a guy friend, do you know what I mean? I mean, I would have to tone down, you know, how I kind of talk and stuff at times. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with it as long as I'm single, like, you know. Yeah, that's the only case is like. Other than that, I'll remain single. I'll be happy. I mean, I'm a Virgo, so we're naturally hermits. We're happy in our own company. People find that odd. But yeah, we can be alone and be at peace. You know. Like, I literally have people like at times say like, how can you just like stay in your house and not really go out, and like, don't you get bored? And I'm like, no, because like I always stimulate my mind. Like, there's things you can do in your home. You don't need to go out, like, to have a good time. Like, you know what I mean? Sure, you can, but I want to wait at the door for them. efficient people. See, I'm very opinionated of like who I kind of like even gaming with or hanging out with. I'm very, very picky. Again, another Virgo trait. Sadly, you have to be pretty fucking special to hang out with me. So, if I hang out with you, you're pretty fucking special. Because, yeah, I'm careful of the company I keep now more than ever. Oh, shit. It's like, for example, and I know this is gonna sound very arrogant, but like, you know, after I had that fight with Rage or whatever, I'm like, dude, you don't know how lucky you had it. Like, most dudes would fucking kill to have a female hang out with them, want to hang out with them, and play, like, you know, fucking Call of Duty or whatever. Like, it's hard to come by. So, like, my energy is hard to come by. I know, again, it sounds very conceited, but you have to have a little bit of confidence in yourself, like, too, and say, hey, that guy was fucking lucky. He didn't know how lucky he had it. And one day he'll look back and remember. Maybe I shouldn't have acted that way because I could have had a really good friend. It's like my friends of 25 years can fucking tell you. 25 years. I have 2 friends that I've known that long especially and remain in contact with, and they can tell you how loyal I am and how, like, kind I am. You know, people that, yeah, I'm just gonna pull them in. Fuck it, I don't got all day, sorry. I mean, I'm nice, but, you know, I've got my time too. It's like, it's important to, like, not be a doormat in life, you know what I'm saying? You can be kind, but have, like, firm fucking boundaries. Oh, I got some nice transcendence there. Yeah, so New Year's resolution. I'm no longer being a doormat for anybody. You want to hang out with me? You know, respect me and I'll respect you in return. You know, it's a two-way street. But if you don't respect me, I send that same energy back and I don't respect you. And then you probably will end up hating me. But, I mean, you gotta think about how you affect other people in this life. You know, you can't go through life treating people like shit and think they'll just put up with it. And, like, communication is vital. So, like, in my case with Rage, where we went wrong was, like, I communicated to him what I was gonna do. Like, I left, and then I communicated, because it's not a situation, like, if, believe me, if I could have, like, in the voice chat said, hey, Rage, I'm not comfortable with these guys, but how can you say that in front of the people, right? So I left and then I texted him, which I think is the most polite way of, saying, hey, I'm having a panic attack and it's kind of because of those guys. You don't want to say that in front of them, you know, especially if they've just become friends with your friend. You don't want to jeopardize their friendship with each other, you know. So I was trying to do the right thing and be respectful and also give him his space because, like, I'm that mature that I can say, hey, like, I can separate people in the sense, like, hey, you like playing with that guy? I'm not really a fan of him or his energy. You guys go hang out. I'm not the kind of person that's going to be like, no, it's either them or me. You pick us or you pick me or you pick them. I'm not that kind of person. I'm just like, you know what? Go hang out with them and, text me when you want to play. Whether it's today, whether it's another day. But some people get their panties in a bunch, like, when you do that, too, because they're like, no, you must like my friends. And it's like, no, I don't expect you to like all my friends. And I can separate parties, like, where it'd be like, okay, I'll play with you one day and I'll play with them another day. Like, I mean, I've learned that ever since I was young. Like, in elementary school, all my friends didn't get along with each other, so I learned way back then to separate and be like, okay, well, I'll play with, I don't know, I'll just make up a name, Tina today, and I'll play with Rebecca tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean? Because Tina and Rebecca don't get along. And I have some other grown adult male friends that, have friends that they don't really get along with, and they just don't, hang out with those people when they're hanging out with those other people, and, they're able to manage it. They hang out with them separate from them, you know what I mean? And so, like, I just always think it's hilarious when grown people can't learn to separate people. They think everybody has to fucking get along. I don't know what kind of airy-fairy world those people are living in, but that's not real life. Because there's many different personalities, Not everybody gets along. Not everybody should have to get along. Yeah. Like, for example, like if you knew somebody was like a narcissist or a criminal and they were friends with your friend, maybe you would want to warn your friend, like try to protect them, but like, should you have to hang out with that narcissist or criminal if you just don't fucking get along with them? Like, it's kind of hard to explain. There's just different energies people have, and maybe they rub you the wrong way, and you just aren't comfortable with it, and it's not, like, a choice of a person you'd hang out with. And especially if you got a mental health issue, like anxiety, like I have to protect my mental health and my body. Otherwise, I could go into a full-blown panic attack, right? So I try to explain this to people, but people don't fucking understand it. Like, if I had a psychiatrist or a counselor on here, I could have them tell you, yeah, she's doing the right thing. She's trying to separate herself from it before it gets into a bad issue, And it's for the best of everybody. But people don't understand that, and if you're not wanting to hang out with their friends, they kind of lose their minds, It's been a problem with a couple people like that. But yeah, I learned long ago that not to be offended if my friends don't like my other friends, and just learn to separate. It's like, that don't get along. It's like we could even get political, like, a little bit, which I mean, you probably shouldn't, but say, for example, in the States, right, you got the Democrats and the Republicans, right? Well, a lot of Republicans hate Democrats and probably vice versa, right? And if you were to get them together, it'd probably be a big fucking argument fest, right? So sometimes you got to just separate the groups and kind of keep them away from one another. Maybe some of them can talk through things and negotiate, but for most part, like, they probably have different perspectives on things, and, you know, it could lead to a shitstorm, right? So sometimes in life you have to separate things and not put everything into one fucking category. You know? And that's the same with people. You can't, you know, there's some people that are alike to each other and can get along, but then there's some people that are just like totally opposite, like almost like introverts and extroverts, right? Extroverts want to be really out there and really, you know, the life of the party, kind of center of attention, whereas introverts want to just be over in their corner, being kind of geeky, working on something or whatever, right? I'm like more of an introvert. And when I get together with extroverts, it's like very, very fucking overwhelming for me, you know? I'm just like, whoa, 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 like I can't deal. So it's weird. When you have a mental health issue or an anxiety, it's hard to navigate life, like, in a way, that makes everyone comfortable. But I realized, like, wait a second. I'm putting me second and everybody else first. Maybe it's time, especially in the new year, to put me first, you know? So that's kind of where my mind's going. Like, Virgos are a sign of service, right? Like, we help people. We're the helpers of the zodiac and the healers and the medics and all that stuff. But we can get into that so much that we lose ourselves and lose who we are. And we put ourselves second, and then we end up like burnt out and just sick, and, you know, and I don't want to be unhappy. So, like, I go to myself, you know what? It's selfish, but I got to put myself first now. And it's really shocking to people that are so used to me putting them first, and then, you know, they have a flip out. Like Rage, I put him before above me, right? He was my friend, but I try to cater to him and be a good friend, and, you know. But then, the moment I decide to be assertive and put a boundary in place saying, hey, I'm uncomfortable with somebody, he gets really upset. Like, so much so, I was getting, like, a fucking chapter texted to me on how upset this person was. Like, I'm not kidding. Huge chunks of text. And I'm just like, wow. And so then I knew there was more at play there. For that individual, he's going through something. Plus, he's probably gone through something where he's been abandoned at some point. Probably by a friend that moved out of state. It might be that. I don't know. If he really sits down and thinks about it. And so because he's fragile about that, if anybody abandons him, he's going to flip out. Like, or if he feels anybody's leaving him. And it wasn't even the case. If I'm leaving you, I'm going to fucking tell you, I'm leaving you. It's over. We're done. Like, you know, I'll fucking say it right to you. I'm that kind of person, right? So just the fact that he went from, like, the shallow end to the deep end so quick, I'm just like, whoa, I can't. Like, this is, like, you've got some shit going on. I've got my anxiety. This is a toxic combination. Yeah. So sadly, like, there's been a lot of cuts I've had to make to friendships because I just realized it's not compatible with me. And it takes time to find your tribe. You know, you're not going to find it immediately. There's going to be people who end up not liking you as soon as you're assertive and say, hey, I'm not comfortable here. They'll be like, but yeah, I wanted to make sure I have the 400% on. They'll be like, but no, it's supposed to be my way. You're supposed to like my friends. You're supposed to do what I want, and that's not what a real friendship or relationship is about. It's give and take, you know. So he liked me a long time ago. He told me he had a crush on me, and back then, like, it was like a situation where I liked somebody else, right? He ended up hating that guy and calling him trash and stuff, and he ended up kind of being right about him. He ended up being a weirdo, but we always, you know, stayed firm in the fact that we were friends after, and he respected it, and that was cool. But then it seemed like
Descendant, I've called you because I need your help. These bastards are using a suspicious-looking digger. Before we can investigate it,
I don't know.
we need to get rid of the forces guarding it. All right,
the way he
let's get to
emotionally
work,
reacted,
Descendant.
I
Swarming with defensive units.
put two and two
Clear
together
them out.
that
Got
he
it?
still liked me,
What the
I guess.
hell are they doing that requires so much security? Judging by that ridiculously large digger, they're definitely up to something.
And I didn't want to bring up his name, like, ever again. Like, I did promise him that, but, I mean,
Another tough enemy to
the
deal
names
with.
started coming after me in Call of Duty all the fucking time. Mrs. Rage and Rage. Those are the two that came after me lately, and I'm just like, wow. And, like, really aggressive, too. Like, I'm gonna kill you kind of thing. I'm just like, you do realize we're on a video game,
I have to check it
and
out myself.
whoever it is, and you've got anger
To do that,
issues, right?
I'll need you to lay waste to the focus. Every
Probably
last
had
one of them.
restraining or whoever
I'm sure
that
you
is
got this,
probably
right?
had restraining orders against them. Just the level of like crazy was
Oh, hell. I can hear a lot.
I know I'm kind of rambling, but I
have a
just
bad feeling about this.
the internet's a tricky thing. Like you think you know people, but you don't really.
Object proximity alert. Seem to be a quite
There's a lot of people wearing masks.
Damn it! Send it. We've detected another high-level focus. There's just no end to them. Please take care of this. There's something weird about the energy flow within the Vulgus facility. Oh, and it looks like we have to deal with even more defensive forces.
There's this like I've been watching this one lady. She does these readings, like tarot card readings. I don't do them myself anymore. I used to, but
Why is there no end
she
to
just
these
posted
bastards?
one. I might listen
Damn
to it
it.
on stream, see what it says. I don't know if it will be relatable or not, but we'll do that after this. You guys can tune out if you want at that point, but I kind of want to multitask it because my day is really kind of busy. As far as gaming goes, I'm trying to get a lot of shit accomplished. It's like one of those double XP weekends too on COD, so when I
Another
get
tough enemy to deal with. Descendant, do your thing.
an annoying gun kind of done if possible.
Descendant, we need to make sure it's safe enough for the construction corps members to move around before we can check out the digger.
I managed to get one of my
There are
guns like
Vulgus
fully
everywhere.
done, like
It's like we've stirred up
with
a
the
hornet's
weapon
nest.
prestige and everything. during this event, so I was really happy about that. The final camo, though, that they give you is kind of garbage. But the one before the final one is really pretty. It's like a purple and gold.
Send it. We've detected another
So I might switch back to that.
There's just no end to them. Please take care of this.
What the hell?
About the energy flow within the Vulgus facility. Oh, and it looks like we have to deal with even more defensive forces.
There's somebody else over here. Yeah, I got him.
Here they come again. You'd think they'd get tired of it at some point. The Vulgus commanding them must be somewhere nearby.
That's where it gets super dangerous when those gold balls show up, like these ones. Did you get him? Pop him with your gun.
Warning system's broken? It's gone off again. Nope. Another tough enemy to deal with. Send it. Do your thing.
Damn.
Oh, that hurt like hell!
I gotta hit restart. Or abandon, I should say. I'm just gonna finish it out.
Okay. Leave the rest to me and go get some rest. I'm sure you need it. Great job.
There we go. One daily down. Yeah, that's why I play that one with other people, because the poison gets so dangerous. Like, it knocked 3 of us down. Just there. You're too toxic. I know that you're toxic. And I love what you do, but you know that you're toxic. Oh, baby, baby, how was I supposed to know that something wasn't right here? Oh, man. Alright, let's go to Axion, see what's going on. Wait, yeah, I don't know. Just going into the new year, I'm cutting out crap, and only people that are, like, worthy of my kindness are gonna get it. But my stipulation is that it's a two-way street, you know? Respect. So if I get it, I'll give it. If I don't get it, then c'est la vie and sayonara.
Breach creature response confirmed. Approaching location.
Like his arms. We're gonna have company then if you guys aren't gonna take care of things properly.
Colony of breach creatures spotted inside the operation.
He's coming down. Normally, most people will clear that big guy. Plus, that big guy can drop you some seriously cool loot if you take care of him.
Primary tactical objective confirmed. Requesting search.
Let me see. What did I get? Battering ram. Okay, that counted as 1 of 2. And I'll go back to Albion and we'll see if we can get a new. It's too bad other missions weren't available right now. I mean, this one's not bad, but there's ones that can go faster than this. I like doing those now to get my daily knocked out. But we'll see if we can get a new lobby. If not, I'll sign out and back in, and that should give us a new lobby. see what she's saying today. Hold on.
Embrace. You will never lose your way, for all paths will lead you back home. My angels guide me. Yeah, you have spiritual guidance right now. Answers revealed. Sitting quietly with Spirit helps you to find the wisdom you need. Spirit speaks in silence. And you know, Virgo, we hermit better than anyone. So if you're uncertain, we're going to give you the answers. Whether you hear it audibly, telepathically, in
They're
your
in
dreams,
trouble.
or it's an inner knowing, you are going to have the answers you need. Come here. His brother's out going to the bathroom, so he, of course, is going to whine at the door. Zuzi, an evil number for Virgo. For Virgo.
A powerful attack took down the assault ship. Please engage.
1144. Focus on your needs, desires, and hobbies. Everything is more accessible with a light attitude. You will be blessed with new opportunities, a new friend, or an addition to your family. Good vibes will speed up the process. 1144. 1144 and 777. It says inspired action. Get some fresh air or call some of your pals over. Take a look around.
Target nearby.
Look around you. There is so much natural beauty waiting to be discovered. Either you will soon become involved in an exciting new project, or you will go out on a date. Put your charisma to use everywhere. Spread your charm around. Major change is coming. 1122. Major change. Have faith in your skills and talents, as they are a tool that can provide you with a bright future. A piece of good advice, a moment of enlightenment, or a comforting message is on its way. Everything will work out in your favor. New beginnings. Yes. All right, Virgo, let's see. You have an exciting, bright new future ahead. All right, overall energy for my sweet Virgos. Overall energy for my sweet Virgos.
Let you knock it out.
Obstacles.
Okay, hold on. She's got a full video, I think. Let me see. Doesn't she? Hold on a minute. Oh, she hasn't uploaded it yet. Just a short form. Deity of Joy? What the hell?
Obstacles and challenges, they are changing. Whatever you have perceived as an obstacle or challenge in the past, it's shifting. It's being removed. It's being moved out of the way. So
Weird.
the breakage there, it's breaking away because you're an Empress energy. So you have powerful, high vibrational energy. You can transmute. You can redirect. You can return. So the month of March, the month of May could be significant. 35 or 53 could be significant. I love that. So, okay. Current energy. 4.
Yeah, anyways, yeah, it's a short. She just gives a preview of it for today. But she'll soon upload the longer version. Yeah, I felt that, like, it's sad, like, to let go of certain friendships, like a friendship of 5 years. I mean, it's not as long as some friendships I've had, but still, 5 years is a lot of your time, right? And I mean, I wasn't always hanging out with this person, but, like, Rach, but, it's 5 years of your time, and, you invest in something, and you hope that, it will be a friendship for longer than 5 years. At least that's what, when I get into friendships, I hope that they'll last longer than 5 years. Personally, like, my ultimate wish is that they last for a lifetime, while I'm alive. But, I mean, that's not the way the world works, right? People have falling outs and stuff, but That's my intention when I get into friendships. I think I'm just gonna do normal today, even though I do need the extra pieces this has to offer, but because my time is limited because other events on games, I have to cut it short on here and try to get this done as quickly as possible. So that being said, we will put on a bunny and go on normal. But yeah, I don't know, just... It's sad. I think at his core he's not a bad person. I just think he's going through a rough patch in life, an emotional time. And not that I think that our friendship will be recovered, but I hope that one day he looks back and he realizes he could have did better, and that like in his next friendships, he remembers that, you know, and just tries to be a better person and more understanding and more compassionate. Especially, he'll run across somebody in his life with a mental, you know, health challenge, whether it's anxiety, depression, you know, I'm sure he'll encounter it again. And if he doesn't change his way, and he's very like not listening, I guess is the best way to say it, not open to the idea that somebody's going through something too, and it's all about him and his feelings and not what another person might be feeling or experiencing, and make it all about him, then he's going to encounter that problem again and again and again and again in life until eventually he gets the lesson. Like, who knows, like his future partner, like his wife or whatever, you know, they might end up with a really bad mental health condition, and he'll have to learn, if he wants to stay with that person, he'll have to learn to be more understanding. Or in the future his child might develop it, and he'll have no choice but to be understanding and compassionate if he wants to have a good relationship with his child, you know. It's funny the way life tries to teach you things, you know. You end up repeating the same lesson until you finally get it. But one area I'm not willing to compromise on is, like, if I'm in an uncomfortable situation where I don't necessarily like another person and I don't want to be in their company, I'm not going to be forced to be in their company. You know? You shouldn't have to be. I would never force that situation on somebody else that said, hey, I'm uncomfortable with a person. We're like, okay, cool, no problem, we'll hang out at another point, like, we'll work it out. You know, that's the mature response, instead of, oh, you should do what I want, and my feelings, and what about me, my feelings, like, you know. I'm like, motherfucker, what about my feelings? You didn't consider them for a minute. Like, a good friend would listen and be like, oh, okay. Like, I'll tell you, my bestie, my best friend Donna, if we were out and about, you know, and I started having, like, a panic attack or something, and I said, girl, like, it's not against you, I need to go, can I make it up to you? Like, even if I was to, like, just leave the restaurant or whatever we're at and then text that to her, she'd be like, I totally understand. But I think she has a little more understanding because her brother has a disability, and it's taught her to be, like, more compassionate, you know? an understanding of people that, you know, have anxiety or differences. Now, Rage said he had anxiety, but I'm like, yeah, but if you really had it, you'd understand there's times like where you need to escape. I'll tell you, I went to cognitive behavioral therapy, group therapy, okay, for my problem, for social anxiety disorder. And you would not believe the amount of people that said that they had a panic attack and they would have to escape situations. And some people, it's so bad that they have to go to drugs or alcohol just to cope with being around other people. I don't do that, thank God. But, yeah, it can be that bad that people have to resort to drugs and alcohol just to cope with being around other fucking people because it's just so overwhelming for them. I refuse to do that. One, my grandpa, he was an alcoholic. He had that illness. And sadly, it cost him basically his family and his home. He lost his home to, like, you know, drinking and gambling. He gambled, like, played poker too. I love poker, but, like, I refuse to fucking, you know, gamble real money on it. I'll play video games and stuff, you know, poker, but no, I won't gamble. And, like, if I do drink, I'll drink once in a while. Like, you know, I didn't even get a drink for Christmas. I was thinking about it, but I said no, instead I'll have something else. So I was good in that way, you know? I've tried things, like, I've tried marijuana in the past when it became legal here in Canada. But for me, when I tried it, it either made me way too lazy if I had the indica. They call that, like, Inda couch. Or sativa would make me so fucking anxious. I'd be, like, to the point of, like, oh my god, I'm sitting on my couch and it feels like there's hot coals under me and I'm on a fucking treadmill. Like, that really happened to me and I was tripping out. Or, oh man, the cops are after me. Like, full-on paranoia. Like, I cannot take that stuff. So, I don't want to feel super lazy either, you know what I mean? So, I'm just like, this stuff ain't for me. It ain't it. It's, you know, and then you hear that excessive pot use can lead to schizophrenia and stuff like that. I'm just like, yeah, hard pass on that. You know, just some things you just know are not good for your body. But, you know, to each their own. If you decide to use it, like, you know, no problem. Do your thing. Like, but for me, it's not for me, you know. But, like, what I really feel bad for is people that are addicted to, like, cocaine. You know, because that affects their relationships, their friendships. They're so, unpredictable. One minute they're probably super nice, the next minute they're, like, a complete asshat, like, mean to, like, people that are good to them. They're probably, you know, people like that are probably in financial crisis from, you know, being so addicted to it. It's really sad. So, like, at least I'm blessed that I'm not struggling with that. I feel bad because, like, I mean, even going to my program and seeing how bad some people have my problem, like, some people, it's so excessive, they can't even fucking go shopping, like, at a mall. They, like, as soon as they enter a mall, they go into full-on panic mode. I can go into a mall, so I'm lucky. But yeah, like, some people, they have to know where the nearest exit is because in case they have, like, a panic attack, you know? I learned a lot from going to that program, that cognitive behavioral therapy. And, like, I was surprised, like, a lot of the things that they would say, I'm like, oh my god, me too. I have that as well. And the irony was that when I was in the program, I made this friendship with this one lady, and she's like, hey, you know, my brother's gonna be having like a band or something at his art store, and I want to invite you, and this is the store name. And I'm like, get the fuck out. I'm like, really? And it turns out, like, that friend I just made, her brother, that she was saying, you know, that owns that art store, turns out it is my cousin's father. And the friend I made was his sister. And she was doing the same, like, program for the social anxiety too. And so, I'm not going to reveal anything about what was talked about or anything. That's confidential, and, I keep that private. But, yeah, just a lot of stuff. Like, I was like, she would talk about what she went through. Other people in my program would talk about what they went through, and I'm just like, holy shit, I felt crazy dealing with some of this stuff, and now I know that, like, there's other people that are experiencing the same fucking thing, So it kind of helps you to feel less alone, I guess, And I bet you if I was to tell them my experience, like with some people expecting me to be friends with their friends, and maybe they just, like, those friends, like, they rub me the wrong way, they'd probably say, hell yeah, I've been through that fucking shit too, and it sucks, because then the friend gets all pissed off, instead of, like, understanding, like, like, I think it's crazy when people expect friends to be friends with all their friends, like, and get along with every single one of them. And, like, it's like, for example, say if they were friends with somebody that's, like, I don't know, a drug dealer, or in an illegal, I don't know, crime organization or something, I'm not going to want to be friends with that person. That's just me. That's not the company I choose to keep, right? So, like, why should I be forced to be friends with certain people just because you like them? Just like I'm not going to expect, people to like my friends, all my friends. Sure, if they get along, awesome. If they don't, it's okay. I can separate them, and I'm not going to force them, because, like, I would feel like a shitty person trying to force people to get along that just don't get along, you know what I mean? And I'm sure if the shoe's on the other foot and the people that do that to you were to be forced to be friends with somebody they don't like, listen, say if I was to say to, like, Rage, hey, Rage, I want you to hang out with, I don't know, say I had a new guy in my life that I had a crush on, and he was a video gamer, and I was like, hey, Rage, I want you to hang out with me and my new crush. Guaranteed he'd be like, oh, no fucking way I'm hanging out with that fucker, like, no fucking way, like, he would. And then if I was like, no, you are hanging out with him, how dare you, you're abandoning me, if you flip the script, then he would, have a freak out. I would never do that to him, but I'm just saying, like, once you flip the script on somebody like that, they realize, like, how they treated you. Well, maybe if they're smart, they'll realize how they treat you was not fair. And that will be for him, between him and, God, when he meets his maker in the future. That will be one thing on his record, like, that he'll be like, okay, this is how you treated this person when they were letting you know they were uncomfortable. And I believe, who knows how, how this whole thing works, but I believe that we're sent back to, if we don't get the lesson, we're to repeat it until we fucking get it. And it gets harder and harder and harder each time until we finally get it. So, like, maybe in this life, it's just with a friend. Next life, it's with, like, an actual family member or something. You know what I mean? It gets harder until you finally fucking get the lesson. But anyway. I think we're finished. Yeah, we finished. Hell yeah. I can go on to my Call of Duty. Try to get my guns leveled and stuff. But yeah, I don't hate Rage. I think he acted overly emotional, a little bit immature. He's got a wound, an abandonment wound, and I think it's I don't know. I don't know if it's related to like maybe somebody he was seeing before leaving him, or a childhood wound, or more recent, like a friend leaving town and him feeling abandoned by that friend, like, and then maybe me leaving that day, even though I texted him. Maybe it rehashed that for him because it's a very sensitive thing, and he just kind of took it out on me. But I'm just with this level of emotional, like, maybe that's my moon in Capricorn, because emotionally we can be fucking cold. I know I sound cold right now, but I'm just like matter of fact, to the point. Like, treat people how you want to be treated, respect people's boundaries, don't go past those boundaries. And as long as you do that, then you're respecting people's friendships, you know? So, like, another example is, like, say, for example, somebody's like, oh, Sarah, I can't be on a live stream with you. Like, it's sort of like, you know, Rage was kind of like that after. He's like, oh, it's all about your live stream, you know? I'm like, no, it's not. But some guys, I don't know, they get, like, jealous or something. I don't know what it is. But say, for example, somebody was to say to me, Sarah, I can't be with you on a live stream. I'd be like, okay, I respect that boundary, you know, no problem. I'm mature enough to respect the boundary they create, so I don't dare ask. I never will ask. You know what I mean? If you respect your friends enough, you won't cross, like, boundaries or barriers. You know, sure, that could hurt, you know, like, oh, I'm not good enough or whatever, but then you're like, you know what, it's fine. You know, I'd rather keep the friendship than destroy it by, like, you know, making that person uncomfortable, right? So, like, that's the mature way of looking at something. Whereas, like, the immature way would be like, how dare you, you know, you're not understanding, you know. Sometimes you just gotta let it be. If somebody's uncomfortable, give them their space. If somebody tells you, like, I'm uncomfortable in this situation, don't force them into it. I think what it comes down to is so much of us, like, we have control issues, right? We want to be in full control of everything and the situation and everything, but let it just be. Give it air to breathe, you know what I mean? Because I know I can be a control freak. Like, I want things my way, and it has to be this way, right? Like, you could even say in that situation, but there's certain situations where I have to, for my mental health, I have to, like, leave, right? I'm not comfortable. So I have to have some form of control, right? But The super controlling thing would be if I was like, no, but you must come in game with me and me alone, like, and not giving the people the freedom to go, explore their other options, right? I don't want to be that person that is just so suffocating, and controlling and domineering. I just want to be, relaxed and just be like, okay, no problem. I think that's the most healthy option, you know what I mean? But yeah, we're done on here for today. And thanks for letting me kind of like, I guess, vent about different stuff. It's just like, every time I'm playing Call of Duty now, the name Rage is coming after me. And it'll be like Mrs. Rage, MRS Rage. Like, and I never viewed him like that at all, like, just as a friend. We would joke around though, like, and I'd be like, can you pretend to be my husband for a minute? Like, just because there's so many weirdos in this game, and like, if they try to come on to me, can you be my husband? And he's like, oh yeah, sure. Like, I'll have your back like that, no problem. And I'm like, awesome, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like, good looking out. And then, we would joke around about the meatloaf thing. Oh, the meatloaf's burning. That would be our code word for, like, let's get the fuck out of here. This is a weird group or team, and I don't want to game with them. So he would say it once in a while. I would say it once in a while, and I would know that that's our cue to just get the fuck out of there. And then we'd laugh about it after. And sometimes even the people that, when they would hear us, hun, is the meatloaf burning? They would start fucking laughing, So it was jokes. It was fun. I thought it was hilarious, and like he would say like, "Oh, fucking meatloaf again." I'd be like, "Yeah, well, hun, next time you're getting peanut butter and jam. I don't know what to tell you." Like we would just have like these dorky little responses, but it was fun, and I enjoyed that. It's sad that he had to get have a misperception that I was abandoning him when I wasn't, and so then the end result is I end up abandoning him and leaving the friendship because now I feel I can't escape when I need to just get like my safety, you know what I mean? Now I don't feel safe. So it created a dynamic that was just I don't think could be repaired, sadly. So I chose to end the friendship because I need to be, due to my anxiety at times there will be situations where I get completely uncomfortable and I might need to leave. So it taught me something. I got to be very clear with people. That maybe that's the reason of our friendship. Maybe it was all for this. I got to be abundantly clear with people when I go to game with them. A couple things. One, there might be times where I have to leave and I'll just back out. And I don't want you to take it like I'm abandoning you. If I'm abandoning you, I will tell you. Like, I'm very, very direct and blunt. And the other thing is, like, I don't know. Yeah, I'll just kind of leave it at that, And, well, yeah, I was telling Diablo, too, like, the same thing I told Rage. I says, like, I know this. I know this from way back when I was even gaming with Bluebird, man. There would be, like, guys that would come along and they would start acting up and getting jealous that I'm hanging out with Bluebird. And I would tell Bluebird, yep, they're jealous of you. Like, you're hanging out with a chick and you're on a stream, and lucky you get to hang out with a female streamer. There's some guys that are weird like this. And he's like, yeah. And he would, notice. And so then I told Rage, and he started to kind of notice. And now I'm having to tell Diablo. And sad that a female streamer just can't have male friends without, dudes trying to interfere or get jealous or whatever. And so, like, I have to tell guys now, too, like, you might be target practice, you know what I mean? And Diablo is like, bring it on, man. Like, he's like, bring it on. I want to kill more people in Call of Duty. Like, I have fun doing that. So, some guys don't mind it. other guys, like, you know, you warn them and they're like, oh shit, that's not for me. Okay, peace out. Like, you know, but you're being fair and warning them because that crazy shit does happen, sadly, and I wish it didn't. I wish I could just game with my friends in peace, you know? But yeah, it's always like I have a fucking cloud of drama that always surrounds me. And for somebody with anxiety, it's like, can I please not have that? Like, can I please, like, go a year at least with drama free? Like, it would be so lovely. Big country? Oh, Lord. I'm gonna do something really funny. Oh my god. Okay. I've had my fun. Let's get the fuck off of here. Oh, shit. But anyways, thanks guys for listening, and if you stuck around to listen to this craziness, I hope there's like a day where I don't even have to talk about shit like this and I can just fucking talk about the game and focus on the game. But yeah, there was something sus with like I get it, like maybe one time like you see that name, like, you know, Rage or whatever, you're just like, oh, okay. But then like when it happened more than once, then you're like, oh, okay, that something's up with this. There's a guy outside my backyard and he's like looking over here. Dude, that's creepy as fuck. Dude, what are you doing? He's got like brown hair, dark jacket. Yeah, anyways, I gotta talk to my mom about this. It's a Saturday too. This guy looks sus. He shouldn't be there. Alright, peace out.